I married a stranger. A cowboy. I did it to save my reputation, to hide from a scandal that wasn't even my fault. I thought I was using him. I thought it was just business. I never knew he would do this to me. He didn't just save my name, he saved my heart.
This is our story.
A love so strong it saved a ranch and two broken people. If you want to see how a fake marriage becomes the most real thing in the world, you need to stay.
Subscribe right now.
Hit that notification bell, because this journey gets wild, and I don't want you to miss a single chapter. A phone screen glows in the dark. A video plays, shared 1,000 times. It shows a woman in a silver evening gown, laughing, her hair perfect. The headline screams, CEO's daughter in secret nightclub scandal. The woman is you. The camera pulls back to show your face, pale and horrified. Your father's voice is ice. The board is voting you out. The family name is a joke. He slides a photograph across his giant desk. It's a man in a worn hat, standing in a dusty field. His name is John. He owns a ranch in Montana. He needs money to save his land. We need a quiet, respectable marriage for 1 year to kill this story. You'll go there tonight. You are driven to a private airfield. You're still in your city clothes. The jet lands on a dirt strip in total darkness. A single truck sits under a lone light. A man steps out. He's older, maybe late 40s. He's not wearing a costume cowboy hat. It's just a real, beat-up hat. His face is all sharp lines and quiet. He doesn't smile. He just nods. Ma'am. He loads your single suitcase. You drive for an hour in silence, just the crunch of gravel. The ranch house appears out of the night. It's not a mansion. It's faded, but strong. A porch light is on. He opens your door. This is it. Inside is clean, but old. A stone fireplace, worn furniture. Your room's upstairs. You stand there, clutching your designer bag. He looks at your high heels. Might want different shoes tomorrow. He turns to go to his own room, down a different hall. The distance between you feels like a mile. This is your husband. A stranger. The next morning, sunlight shocks you awake. The view from your window is endless land, golden grass, and big, big sky. You come downstairs in your silk robe. He's at the stove, making eggs. He points with the spatula. Coffee's there. You sit. The silence is heavy. Finally, he speaks, not looking at you. I know why you're here. The money will save this place. I know you don't want to be here. We don't have to pretend. Just be seen in town together now and then. You just nod, your throat tight. He shows you the barn. It smells of hay and animals. A horse, a huge red-brown creature, nudges his shoulder. He touches its nose, gentle. It's the first soft thing you've seen him do. This is Duke. You take a step back. I don't like horses. He looks at you. He can tell. He doesn't push. He just goes back to work. You feel useless. You're useless here. That afternoon, a fancy car kicks up dust. It's your father's lawyer, a slick man in a suit. He hands you papers. Your father wants monthly reports. Photos of domestic harmony. He looks at John with disdain. John just leans on the fence, watching. After the lawyer leaves, John says, "You want that photo now?" His voice is flat. You stand stiffly next to him on the porch. He doesn't touch you. The camera timer ticks. It's the loneliest picture you've ever been in. You spend the week wandering the house. You try to help in the kitchen and burn the bread. He says nothing, just makes more. One night, you hear a sound, a low, pained groan from the barn. You peer out. In the stall, John is sitting in the straw, his face white. His hand is clamped over his left knee, his eyes squeezed shut. He's in terrible pain, but completely silent. He doesn't see you. You watch him struggle to stand, alone. This tough, silent man is hiding an injury. You quietly go back to your room, holding this secret. The first real thing you know about him. You don't mention seeing his pain. But the next morning, you leave a bottle of aspirin on the kitchen table. He sees it, pauses, and puts it in his pocket with a nod. That's all. Later, you explore the house. In the living room, a simple wooden box sits on a shelf. Inside are not ranching things, but a folded flag and a single black and white photo. It shows a much younger John, smiling in a military uniform, his arm around another soldier. They look like brothers. The smile is gone from the man you know. You hear his boots on the porch and quickly put the box away. You decide to try. You put on the sturdy boots he left by the back door. You find him fixing a broken fence post. Tell me what to do. He shows you how to hold the wire taut. You fumble, the wire snapping and cutting your glove. You suck in a breath. He's at your side in 2 steps. He takes your hand, pulls the glove off. His hands are rough, huge around yours. He checks the small cut. It's clean. He doesn't let go right away. He looks from your hand to your eyes. You don't have to do this. You say, yes, I do. He gets a bandage. A truck rattles up. An older man with a kind face gets out.
John.
Heard you got yourself a wife. He's the neighbor, Tom. John's whole posture stiffens. You step forward, your city girl smile plastered on. Hello, But John cuts in, his voice firm. This is my wife. He says it like a fact. Like a wall. Tom's eyes go wide. Then he smiles for real. Well, congratulations. He leaves. John lets out a breath.
He did that for you.
To stop the questions. That night, you can't sleep. You go to the kitchen for water. He's there, at the table, the military photo in his hand.
He sees you.
He doesn't hide it. My brother Michael, he says, his voice gravel. The flag is his. You sit down not too close. You don't say you're sorry. You just ask, what was he like? John looks at the photo.
Loud.
Made everyone laugh. He was gonna run this place with me. The silence that follows isn't empty. It's full of his loss. You share the dark until he finally says, you should sleep. The monthly check from your father arrives. John stares at the envelope like it's poison. He needs it for the bank payment, but taking it shames him. You see it. You take the envelope and set it on the counter. It's just paper, you say. This, you gesture to the sturdy house, the land outside. This is real. He looks at you, really looks for a long moment. He doesn't take the check that day. Your designer clothes are useless. You ask Tom's wife, Mary, to take you to town for real clothes. At the dusty store, you pick simple jeans and shirts. Mary is sweet, but her questions are careful. John's a good man. A lonely one. Back home, you change. You look like someone else. You come downstairs. He's cleaning his rifle at the table. He glances up.
Stops.
His eyes track you from head to toe. He doesn't smile, but something in his face shifts. He just gives one slow nod of approval. It feels better than any compliment you've ever gotten. The lawyer calls for the monthly report. You have to send a photo. This time, John is at the kitchen table. You're standing beside him, your hand resting on the back of his chair. It's not close, but it's not miles apart. Before you take it, he reaches up and briefly, covers your hand with his. The touch is warm and electric. The camera flashes. You send the picture. It's a lie for them. But for you, in that second, it wasn't. He teaches you to drive the old truck. You grind the gears, making the whole thing shudder. He doesn't yell. He just says, ease into it. Like you're not sure. When you finally get it smooth, a tiny grin touches his mouth. You feel a burst of pride. You drive to the mailbox together, a silly little trip that feels huge. On the way back, a fancy news van is parked at the end of the driveway. A reporter shoves a microphone at the window. Is it true your marriage is a sham to bury your scandal? You freeze. John leans across you, his body blocking the camera. He looks the reporter dead in the eye. His voice is low and dangerous. You're on private land. My wife and I are going home.
Now.
He doesn't shout. It's worse. The reporter steps back. John takes the wheel, turns the truck around, and drives the back way home. Your heart is hammering. They'll print that, you whisper. He says, let them. But he's angry. Not at you. For you. That night, he works late in the barn. You bring him coffee. You find him not working, just staring at the stall where Duke is. That reporter. You start. He interrupts. People who've never gotten dirt under their nails, they like to break beautiful things. He isn't looking at the ranch.
He's looking at you.
You realize he called you a beautiful thing. You have to turn away so he doesn't see your eyes fill. The next photo request from your father is more specific. At a social event. The only event is the county fair. It's a sea of people, of knowing stares and whispers you can almost hear. You feel the old panic, the shame. John walks beside you, not touching, but a solid presence. A man from your old life, a business associate, sees you. He smirks, slumming it, huh? Before you can speak, John steps forward. He doesn't touch the man. He just gets in his space. You will speak to my wife with respect, or you will leave. The man's smirk dies. He walks away. You're shaken. You want to hide. Instead, John leads you to the livestock pens. He shows you his prize bull, a giant, gentle creature. He talks about bloodlines and grass, his voice steady. He's giving you an anchor. You watch his profile as he talks, the earnestness in his eyes. You're not listening to the words. You're feeling calm for the first time all day. Because of him. You stop at the shooting gallery. It's just tin cans. You've never held a gun. He stands behind you, not touching, and shows you the stance. Steady breath. Squeeze, don't pull. You fire. You miss everything. People snicker. Your face burns. John reloads the rifle, hands it back. Again. His voice is quiet in your ear. Just you and the target. Nothing else exists. You fire again. A can clangs off its post. You hit it. You turn to him, a real smile breaking through. He sees it. Something warm lights in his eyes. It's the first time you've made him smile. That night, back home, the silence is comfortable. You're on the porch. He's in his rocker. You're in yours. A million stars are out. You say, thank you. For today. He rocks slowly. You stood your ground. That's what matters. Then he says the unexpected. My brother, he would have liked you. He'd have said you have fire. It's the highest praise you can imagine from this man. You reach over the space between the chairs. You don't take his hand. You just rest your fingertips on the arm of his rocker. After a moment, his hand comes down, his pinky finger resting against yours. A tiny connection under the big sky. A letter comes from the bank. Not a statement. A final notice. The loan payment is behind. The ranch is 30 days from foreclosure. John reads it, his face turning to stone. He doesn't say a word. He just gets on his horse and rides out to the far pasture. You watch him go, a solitary figure against the huge sky. You find the check from your father, still uncashed. You know he won't take it now. His pride is all he has left. You call your father. You beg for an extension for a loan. His voice is cold. The arrangement was specific. The money is for appearance. His financial failure is not my problem. Perhaps it's time to come home. You realize he knew this would happen. He wanted it to fail. You hang up, furious. You drive into town, to the bank. The manager is polite but firm. John's a good man, but this is business. Unless he can make a large payment, the land will be auctioned. You come home determined. You find John in the barn, brushing Duke with hard, angry strokes. We'll figure it out, you say. He shakes his head. We don't have to figure out anything. This was always going to happen. You'll go back to your life. This was just a timeout. The word, timeout, stings. You think this is nothing to me? You fire back. He turns, and his eyes are fierce with pain. What is it, then? A adventure? A story to tell your friends? You are both shouting now, real emotion ripping through the quiet. It's real. You yell, tears finally coming. This is the most real thing I've ever had. You are. The words hang in the dusty air. He stares at you, his chest heaving. All the anger drains from his face, replaced by raw shock. He takes a step toward you. Then a crack of thunder shakes the sky. A storm is rolling in, fast and black. The storm hits like a truck. The power goes out. Wind howls. Then you hear it, a terrible splintering crash from the barn. You both run outside. A giant tree limb has pierced the roof. Duke is trapped in a stall, terrified, the wood pinning part of the stall door. John doesn't hesitate. He wades in, talking low to the panicked horse. "Get the saw from the workshop," he yells. You run through the slashing rain. You hold a flashlight as he saws the thick branch. Water and sawdust fly. The barn groans. A piece of roofing starts to sag above him. You scream his name and drop the light, shoving him out of the way. You both tumble into the wet hay as more wood crashes down where he stood. In the dark, tangled together, you can hear his ragged breath. "You could have been killed," he whispers, horrified. The flashlight, still working, casts a beam. You're face to face. Rain streams through the hole in the roof. His arms are around you, holding you tight from the fall. You're both soaked, covered in mud and hay. The fear, the fight, the closeness, it all explodes. He looks at your lips. You look at his. The air crackles. But he pulls back, helping you up. "We need to get Duke out," he says, his voice rough. The moment is buried under urgency, but it happened. You both know it. Hours later, the storm passes. The immediate danger is over. Duke is safe in another stall. You're in the kitchen, wrapped in blankets, drinking coffee. The quiet is deep. He speaks first. "What you said in the barn, you wrap your hands tighter around your mug. I meant it." He nods slowly. "This land, it's my whole life. But it's dying. And I don't know how to save it." It's the first time he's admitted defeat. You say, "Then let me help. Not with my father's money. With me. I'm smarter than I look in heels." For the first time since the bank letter, a flicker of hope appears in his eyes. A new kind of teamwork begins. You sit at the kitchen table with his account books. The numbers are bad. You see his pattern. He puts every penny back into the land and the animals, leaving nothing for himself or the bank. You use your old skills, the ones you used to run a company, and make a brutal budget. He listens, asks hard questions. He respects the plan, not just the person. You discover something online. A state program offers grants to veterans preserving family agricultural land. John's service and his brother's qualifies him. He never applied. Too much paperwork. Too many promises. You print the forms. We're doing it. You fill them out together, your city handwriting next to his bold print. Mailing the application feels like a first strike back. But danger isn't just financial. A sleek black SUV parks at the gate. Two men in suits get out. They work for a land development company. They offered John a buyout for the ranch. The number is big. It would clear his debt and leave him comfortable. They smile with perfect teeth. "Think of the easy life, John." He tells them to leave. They hand him a card. The offer expires in 72 hours. "After the foreclosure auction, we'll get it for less. Be smart." You see the temptation in his eyes. The relief it would bring. That night, he's quiet. You make a simple dinner. Finally, he says, "That money, you could be free. This wasn't the deal." You put your plate down. "Do you want me to be free?" You ask, your heart in your throat. He looks at you, his gaze intense. "No," the word is simple and earth-shattering. "But I won't chain you to a sinking ship." You say, "Then we stop it from sinking." The next day, you go to see Tom and Mary. You tell them about the developers. Tom's face darkens. They've been buying up all around here. They want to build some fancy resort. They'll drain the water, ruin the land. A plan forms. You ask Tom to spread the word, an old-fashioned barn raising, to fix the storm damage, but really, to show unity, to show the developers the community is watching. The day of the barn raising, trucks and cars pour in. Dozens of neighbors show up with tools and food. They don't ask questions about your marriage. They see you working alongside John, passing nails, hauling wood. They see you belong. John is moved, his usual gruffness softened by their kindness. You see him as the community sees him, a leader, a good man. It changes how you see yourself, too. You're not an outsider anymore. As the new beams are raised, the black SUV rolls up again. The two men watch, their smiles gone. John walks over to them, you at his side. The whole crowd goes quiet, watching. The lead developer says, "Sentimental, John. But it doesn't pay bills." You speak before John can. You have our answer. We're not selling. And this community will be at that auction if you try to lowball anyone else. The man looks from your fierce face to the crowd of stern, silent ranchers behind you. They leave without another word. That night, John finds you looking at the repaired barn. You stood with me, he says. It's everything. You lean your shoulder against his arm. He doesn't pull away. He leans back. The grant application is rejected. The letter says funds depleted. It's a crushing blow. John doesn't get angry. He just gets quiet, the hope draining from him. He starts spending more time alone, as if saying goodbye to every fence post, every tree. It breaks your heart. You realize you're not just fighting for his land. You're fighting for him, for the man who came back to life beside you. Desperate, you look through every paper in the house. In an old metal box, you find the original land deed. And tucked behind it, a faded geologist's survey from 50 years ago. It mentions a unique mineral spring on the North Quarter. You remember the developer's urgent offer. Why the 72-hour deadline? Why such interest in this ranch? You search online for the development company's plans. Buried in a public zoning document is a mention of potential hydrothermal assets in the area. They don't want the land for a resort. They want the water. The spring water could be worth millions. You run to the barn, the papers flapping in your hand. John is there. You explain, breathless. His eyes narrow. The spring. My granddad called it medicine water. We never thought. A new fire lights in him. This is leverage. This is a weapon. But the auction is in 48 hours. You need a buyer who will let you keep the land, or a way to pay the bank. You make the hardest call. To your father's biggest business rival, a self-made man named Carl Mitchell. You pitch it not as a favor, but as a business deal. Invest in the spring, save the ranch, share the profits. He's intrigued. Send me the data. I'll have my people look. You hang up. John is watching you. You're using your world to save mine, he says. You nod. They're the same world now. That evening, as the sun sets, he takes you to find the spring. It's a hidden clearing, a small pool of clear, steam-rising water. It's magical. He says, my brother and I found this when we were kids. We thought it was a secret treasure. He's letting you into his most precious memory. You sit by the water. The space between you is charged. He reaches out and tucks a strand of your hair behind your ear. His touch lingers on your cheek. Your breath catches. This past year, he starts, his voice thick. It was supposed to be a sentence. For both of us. He looks into your eyes, and you see no walls left. You saved more than my land. You saved me from the quiet. From just giving up. You put your hand over his, holding it to your face. You gave me a home, you whisper. Not this place. You. He leans in. Finally, after all the tension, all the waiting, his lips brush against yours. It's not a dramatic movie kiss. It's soft, questioning, full of all the words they haven't said. It feels like a promise. You return to the house, hands linked. The answering machine light is blinking. It's Carl Mitchell. His voice is brisk. The data checks out. I'm in. My lawyer will draw up a partnership, not a buyout. You'll keep the deed. We'll meet you at the bank, 1 hour before the auction. You turn to John, tears in your eyes. He sweeps you into a hug, lifting you off the ground. It's joy, pure and simple. But as you pull back, the kitchen phone rings again. You answer, smiling. It's your father. His voice is calm, cold. I hear you found the spring. Clever girl. Now, here's what's going to happen. You'll convince your cowboy to sell to my shell corporation, not Mitchell. Or I will release the full, unedited nightclub video. The one where you're clearly seen taking the money from my competitor. The one that doesn't just show a scandal. It shows treason. Your life will be over. He hangs up. The floor drops out from under you. The twist is vicious. Your father orchestrated the entire scandal to get you here, to get you to find the spring for him. John sees your terror. The victory is gone. A new, more personal danger has just begun. You drop the phone. Your hands are shaking. John is across the kitchen in 2 strides. What is it? You can't speak. You just shake your head. The video he described, it's real. You took an envelope at that club, a good faith gesture from a rival CEO. You thought it was business. You were set up from the very beginning. Your own father. John's hands are on your shoulders, solid and real. Look at me. Whatever it is, we face it. You tell him. Every ugly word. His face hardens into something you've never seen. Not anger at you. A cold, terrifying fury. He used you. He sent you here to steal from me. You feel sick. I didn't know. About the spring, about any of it. He pulls you into his chest. I know. He believes you. In the middle of this hurricane, that is your anchor. He holds you until your shaking stops. Then he steps back, his mind working. The meeting with Mitchell is tomorrow. We have until then. You want to run. To hide. John won't let you. We fight, he says, simple as that. He gets Tom on the phone. He tells him everything about the spring, about the threat. Tom is silent for a long moment. Then he says, you ain't alone in this. My cousin's a lawyer. Not a fancy one, but a fighter. And my boy does something with computers. We're coming over. Within the hour, Tom's old pickup arrives with his family. His son, a quiet young man named Jake, sets up a laptop. His cousin, Bill, a gruff man with sharp eyes, listens to the story. Blackmail, Bill says. We need to prove the original scandal was a setup. We need leverage. Jake starts digging online, searching for connections between your father's company and the development firm that made the offer. The room is full of focused energy. You are not a scandalous daughter. You are the center of a war council. Jake finds it. A shell company. The paperwork is buried, but it shows your father's business partner owns a piece of the development firm that tried to buy the ranch. The whole thing, the scandal, your exile, the pressure to sell, was a coordinated land grab. They needed a desperate seller. They created one. You have the proof on the screen. But it's a corporate crime. It doesn't erase the blackmail video. John has been quiet, thinking. He looks at you. That night at the club. Who gave you the envelope? You remember. A woman. Her face is blurry. Jake says, security footage. From the club. If we could see her, maybe we could find her. It's a needle in a haystack. And you have less than 24 hours. Mary makes coffee. The night stretches on. The clock ticks toward the meeting, toward your father's deadline. You feel the walls closing in. John pulls you aside, into the dark living room. Listen to me, he says, his voice low and fierce. No video, no threat, changes what this is. He takes your hand, places it flat over his heart. You can feel its strong, steady beat. You are my wife. This is your home. We protect what's ours. You nod, drawing strength from his certainty. You will go to that meeting. You will face your father. Morning comes, gray and tense. You dress carefully, not in city clothes, but in your ranch jeans and a simple shirt. You look like who you are now. John wears a clean button-down, the one he wears for funerals and weddings. He looks at you, and his gaze says everything. You are a team. Bill the lawyer will meet you at the bank. Jake is still digging a last hope. The drive to town is silent, but your hand rests on the seat between you. John reaches over and covers it with his. His grip is tight. You park in front of the small brick bank. 2 cars are already there. Carl Mitchell's sensible sedan, and your father's long, black luxury car. Your stomach churns. John squeezes your hand once. Ready. Inside, the air is cold. Your father stands by the window, looking out. He turns. He doesn't look at John. He looks only at you, a disappointed smile on his face. Carl Mitchell, a stout man with a direct gaze, stands with his lawyer. Let's get to business, Mitchell says. Your father interrupts. My daughter has something to say. About who she's selling to. All eyes are on you. John's solid presence is at your back. You look at your father. I'm not selling anything. We are entering a partnership with Mr. Mitchell. Your father's smile vanishes. He walks closer, his voice a hissed whisper. Think of the video, sweetheart. Your life in prison. You don't flinch. I've thought about it. You should think about the SEC investigation when I send them the links between you and the developers trying to steal this land. His eyes flicker with surprise, then rage. You have his attention. Bill, your lawyer, steps forward. We have the documentation. It's ugly. For you. Your father recovers, smooth as ice. A scandal for a scandal. You'll still be ruined. It's a stalemate. The bank manager coughs. The foreclosure auction begins in 1 hour in this room. Unless the debt is cleared. Then, the door opens. Jake walks in, breathless. He doesn't speak to the room. He walks straight to you and John hands you his phone. On the screen is a paused image from the nightclub. It clearly shows the woman handing you the envelope. And standing just behind her, partially in shadow, is your father's personal driver. The one man he trusts with everything. The one who would do anything for him, including be a witness. You hold the phone up to your father. Who is that with your driver? Is he prepared to testify that you ordered him to set up your own daughter? The color drains from your father's face. His perfect plan has a crack named loyalty. He thought his man was invisible. Mitchell has watched this whole family drama with disgust. He speaks now, his voice cutting. I'm here for a business deal, not a soap opera. He looks at you and John. You have the spring. You have grit. My offer stands: a partnership, you keep the land, we develop the water responsibly. 50-50. He looks at your father. Get out. Your father stares at you. The look is pure hatred. He is lost. He turns and walks out without another word. The room is silent. The bank manager asks, how will you be settling the debt today? Mitchell's lawyer produces a cashier's check for the full amount, an advance against the partnership. John signs the partnership papers, his hand steady. You sign next to him. The ranch is saved. You should feel elated. But you only feel the heavy weight of what just happened. You broke your family. For this new one. Back at the ranch, the relief is quiet. There's no celebration. The fight took too much. You sit on the porch, the legal papers in a folder beside you. John sits next to you. He'll never forgive you, you say, not looking at him. John's reply is firm. He didn't deserve you to begin with. You realize your father's love was always a transaction. John's is not. The next days are strange. Reporters call. Someone leaked about the spring and the big city deal. John handles them all with a terse no comment. You focus on the ranch work, the simple rhythm of chores. It's healing. One afternoon, a certified letter arrives. From your father's lawyers. It states that all ties are severed. You are cut off from the family trust, from everything. It's final. You read it, then throw it in the wood stove. You watch it burn. You feel lighter. The partnership with Mitchell moves fast. Surveyors come to map the spring. They are respectful, careful. Mitchell himself visits. He walks the land with John, talking about water rights and sustainable bottling. He treats John as an equal. You see John stand taller, his pride intact, his future secure. It's what you fought for. That night, John doesn't go to his room. He stands in the doorway of yours. The 1-year mark of your marriage agreement is a week away. The contract is fulfilled. The debt is paid. The deal's done, he says, his voice rough. You could go anywhere. You have your own money from the partnership now. You walk to him. You place your palm on his chest, over his heart, like he taught you. I am home, you say. He closes his eyes, as if in pain from the beauty of the words. When he opens them, they are clear, certain. He takes your hand. He leads you not to your bed, but downstairs, to the living room, to the fireplace. He takes the simple wooden box with his brother's flag and photo off the shelf. He opens it. He moves the flag aside. Beneath it is a small, velvet pouch. He pours its contents into your hand. It's a simple, old gold band. It was my mother's, he says. I want you to have it. Not because of a deal. Because I choose you. I love you. You are crying silent tears. You hand him the ring. He slides it onto your finger, next to the plain band you wore for the contract. It fits perfectly. You don't kiss. You just hold each other in front of the fire for a long, long time. It is a real beginning. The next morning, you wake up in your room. He is beside you. The sunlight is warm on the quilt. He's already awake, watching you. There's a piece on his face you put there. You smile. He smiles back. It's easy.
It's right.
You get up to make breakfast, wearing his mother's ring. It feels like it has always been there. Life finds its new normal. The money from the partnership lets you fix up the house, not make it fancy, but make it strong. You paint the porch together. You argue over the color. He wants plain white. You want a soft, warm gray. You pick the gray. He grumbles, but he paints it. And every time he sits on the porch afterward, he says, "Good color." It's his way of saying you were right. You start riding with him. Not on Duke, but on a gentle mare named Belle. He teaches you, patient as ever. You are still afraid, but you trust him. You ride out to the spring together often. It's your place now. The development plans are slow, careful. Mitchell is a man of his word. The ranch is thriving. Then a different letter comes. From the VA. John's knee injury from his service has been reevaluated. He is approved for surgery and full disability support. He stares at the letter. For years, he'd been denied, living with the pain, thinking he deserved it. You fought for this, too, he says to you. You helped him file the new paperwork months ago. He has the surgery in the city. You stay in a small hotel near the hospital, holding his hand before they wheel him in. You are his emergency contact. His family. Recovery is hard. He hates being still. You run the ranch with Tom's help. You learn to manage the men, to check the herds. You are capable. When John is back on his feet, wobbly but without the old pain, he sees you bringing in the horses at sunset. He watches you from the porch, a look of awe on his face. You are not the woman who arrived. You are the woman who stays. On the anniversary of the day you arrived, he has a surprise. He takes you for a drive, up into the high pastures you've never seen. At the top of a hill, the view takes your breath away. You can see the entire ranch, the house, the barns, the winding creek. I wanted you to see it all, he says. Our life. He built a simple picnic there. As you eat, he seems nervous. He clears his throat. The first marriage, he says, was for your reputation. He takes your hand, the one with both rings. I want to marry you again. For us. In front of our friends. On this land. You are speechless. You just nod, tears in your eyes. He pulls a folded paper from his pocket. It's a new, simple deed. He has added your name to it. The land is yours, together, legally, and in every way that matters. It's the most profound promise he can make. You plan a small wedding for the end of summer. Mary helps you find a simple dress. Tom is going to be the best man. It's all happiness, simple and deep. Then, a week before the wedding, a sheriff's car comes up the drive. The sheriff is an older man who knows John. His face is serious. There's been some trouble, John. Over at the Mitchell development site at the spring. Vandalism. Expensive equipment sabotaged. Fences cut. A note was left, nailed to a post. The sheriff shows a photo. The note reads, "Sellouts. This land isn't yours to trade. It's not your father's style. This is local anger. Someone in the community is furious about the partnership. They see it as John betraying the old ways, selling out to city money." The sheriff questions John, gently. Does he have any disputes with neighbors? John's face is dark. Everyone was at the barn raising. Everyone seemed, he trails off. But you both know, not everyone might have been happy. Just because they showed up doesn't mean they approved. The vandalism shakes you. This is your home. These are your people. To be attacked from within hurts more than your father's schemes. The sheriff increases patrols. Mitchell wants to hire private security. John refuses. That'll just make it worse. Make us look like we're occupying the land. He decides to handle it his way. He spends the next day driving to every neighboring ranch. You go with him. He doesn't accuse.
He talks.
He explains the deal, how he still owns the land, how the spring development will bring jobs, how it saved the ranch from the big developers. Most neighbors are supportive. Heck, John, we knew you'd do right by the land, one says. But at the last stop, the Wainwright place, things are different. Old man Wainwright is a bitter, lonely rancher whose own land is drying up. He stands on his porch, doesn't invite you in. You got lucky, John. You got a rich wife and a magic puddle. The rest of us are just dying out here. His eyes are full of jealous hate. You know, without saying it, that he is the one. John knows it too, but there's no proof. That night, you feel watched. You keep checking the dark windows. John loads his rifle and leaves it by the door, just in case. The peace you built feels fragile. You lie in bed, listening to every sound. John pulls you close. We're safe. I'm here. But his body is tense, alert. He is on guard. 2 days later, at dawn, Mary calls, her voice panicked.
Fire.
On the far western edge of your property, near the boundary with Wainwright's land. It's dry season. A fire could wipe out everything. You and John race out in the truck. A column of smoke stains the clear sky. Your heart is in your throat. This is no longer just vandalism. This is war. You reach the fire. It's a grass fire, not in the trees yet, but the wind is picking up. Flames crawl toward a line of old pines. John grabs shovels and fire beaters from the truck. We have to make a break.
Now.
You work side by side, beating at the flames, digging dirt to stop its spread. The heat is immense. Smoke burns your eyes and throat. You hear another engine. Tom and 2 other neighbors arrive with more shovels and a small water tank. They don't ask questions. They just start fighting. The community is here for you, even now. You work for an hour, a desperate, grimy team. Finally, the fire is contained, then out. A black, smoldering scar marks the land. Everyone is coughing, covered in soot. Tom looks at the fire's origin point. He finds what you all feared, a broken whiskey bottle, rags. It was set on purpose. He looks toward Wainwright's land. That old fool. The sheriff is called. This time it's arson. A felony. The sheriff goes to talk to Wainwright. You and John go home, exhausted and shaken. You sit at the kitchen table, too tired to clean up. The soot on your face is mixed with tears of frustration. Why, you ask? Because change is scary, John says. And pain makes people cruel. He looks out the window, toward the burnt field. I can't have him arrested. Not an old man who's just lost. You stare at him. He tried to burn us out. John nods. And if we throw him in jail, his place dies. His family legacy ends in disgrace. That's not justice. It's just more pain. You see the wisdom in him, a deep kindness you are still discovering. Then what? You ask. John gets up. He goes to the barn. He loads 2 bales of hay and a sack of grain into the truck. You don't understand. He drives not to your burnt field, but to Wainwright's ranch. The old man is on his porch, defiant and scared. John doesn't get out of the truck. He just unloads the hay and grain by the fence. He looks at Wainwright. Your north pasture is thin. This'll help. Then he gets back in the truck and drives away. Wainwright stands there, stunned. You're stunned too. That's your solution? You ask. John keeps his eyes on the road. Fire's put out. The message is sent. Now, we see if kindness can put out a different kind of fire. It's the hardest, most powerful thing you've ever seen. You realize he's not just saving land. He's trying to save a man's soul. A day passes. Then 2. No more trouble. The wedding is tomorrow. You are decorating the barn with Mary when you see a beat-up truck approach.